And we're live. Good morning,
According.
Anne.
Good morning, Carol.
It's so fun to have you here today.
It's fun to be here today and to say good
Yeah.
morning to you.
Oh, how's your
Ah,
morning going so far?
well, it's been a slow start. I did manage to get up and shower and strip the bed, and I have a load of laundry in the washing machine. And I checked on the butterflies, and they're still there.
Yay! What
Yay!
did
I
I
haven't
do?
killed
I
any.
didn't. I didn't even take the dogs for a walk this morning.
Oh my
They're
gosh!
both.
So they're
They're
sitting in the corner with their legs crossed.
no. They went outside to go pee, but they're
Oh, okay.
sleeping. Yeah, we didn't do the walk. Like they went out into the yard.
Oh, okay. That's true.
But
I always forget you do
Tuzo's
have that
sleeping on
option.
the Tuzo's sleeping on the little couch, and Mocha's on the bed. They're sound asleep, and I just got my tea and came down here.
Hmm.
It's like I didn't do anything. Oh look, there's Zen Jen. Hi Zen Jen and Becky and Gail.
Hi, Gail. Hi, Zen. Zen Jen. Kathy.
There's Kathy. Good morning, everybody. We'll give everybody a little bit of time to just get in, and
Hmm.
um, I've I've went, and I know I don't usually use a hoop when I stitch because I find it more comfortable just to hold it in my hand, except for some things.
Hmm.
And usually, if I'm trying to do um, thread painting or something that requires a lot of stitching and difficult to hold at the same time, then I'll put it in a hoop. But I found my floor stand,
Oh, yes,
and
of course.
I was going to use that on, and thought, well, I'll see if my camera can put on the aim towards the floor and stuff. And but then when I put it where I thought I was going to use it, I couldn't see the computer screen
Oh,
because my back was to it then. So I tried to put it the other way, and it just was not comfortable that way. There was, you know, er, the camera wouldn't reach that far without having to redo all the camera stuff.
no, no.
So I took it apart, and I took out some of the leg extension parts and put it back together my way, and
Right.
it folds down nice that I can now have it on my desk, and I
Oh,
can work and underneath it. And it it's like, well, we'll see if this works for people so they can actually see what I'm doing without trying to hold it up to the camera.
yeah. Yeah, well, yesterday you zoomed in and it looked perfect.
Yes, I didn't zoom all the way in because I was hoping I would get a nice thumbnail
Oh, yeah.
for my, but yes, I can zoom in this far and then readjust the camera if I need to. I can swing it over this way and adjust.
Yeah. When you make
But
yourself big, it was really, I mean, it was great yesterday because we could see you make, I could actually see you making the French knot, winding the yarn and I love the sound of the needle going through the fabric. I love that sound.
well, I am only uh
You're pretty close.
yeah, just you can see the tips of my fingers.
Yeah.
The camera's like 2 inches away from my fingers.
Okay. All right. Yeah, you're pretty close. Yeah.
There's not a lot of room, and I was trying to practice, and it's like, oh my God, I keep hitting the camera. This is not going to go well.
No.
But it'll take me a little bit of time to get used to, but I think it's better for everybody else so they can see.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a great, because you showed us a picture of the whole jerry rig thing that you did, and it looks very complicated and heavy.
You are close, just not very large on the YouTube
Yeah, she's got
screen.
to make her sing. She's got to put herself solo. Why don't you make yourself solo? We'll
Oh,
make you big
oh yes, yes.
and see what Gail thinks when you do that.
How's that?
Isn't that better, Gail? Okay.
Yeah,
So
it does. It makes
that
it
is much
hard.
better.
Or we go this way.
No, because I'm not. Because then we're on. That's yeah.
Oops.
That's perfect. What'd you do?
I put you so you're on the side so we can see you too.
Yeah, but when you start sewing, I'm not doing anything. I can. And Gail just
What?
said, not that she doesn't enjoy seeing me too, but I get you. Hi, April. Good morning.
Hi, April. So happy to catch you live. Well, I'm happy you could be here. Hi, Becky. Becky must be home now. She
I
went to
guess.
Joanne's this morning.
I guess if it's true that Joanne's is going belly up again,
It might be a good time to go get some
stuff.
supplies.
Yeah.
So what I've done, just to jump in, and Anne's going to show what she has too after I give you a little bit of spiel, and then we're going to bring Anne up, and she's going to show you what she's stitching in her stitch journey. You know, the stitch journey is not just about doing what I'm doing, it's doing what you want to do. If I'm inspiring you to make some French knots or make some bullions or do a little bit of just doodle stitching, just randomness, that's great. That's what our 2025 stitch journey is about. It's about inspiration and enjoying yourself, not being stressed over, oh my God, I've got to do this. That's not what it's about. We're here to have fun, relax, and just get your needle and thread out and just do whatever. So what I've done is I've completed my, oops, you can't see. Let's move up here. I've completed my 2025, which I didn't do in this series one. I showed how to do the double running stitch because Take a Stitch Tuesday was a running stitch. So I chose the double running stitch. If you did that, great. If you chose another stitch, great. Then I showed you how I put my lettering that I just adjust, and it's my handwriting because these are, like I said, going to go. They'll be heirlooms. They'll be something that the kids and grands can pass on. But after I finished up my January, then I went and I started working on my quiet corner. So I took a piece of old lace that I had and I just did a very tiny tack stitch with the big stitch on the back and a little stitch on the front. And I tacked down that piece of lace over those flowers that were there, and actually they're over here. This is what was over here. So then I wrote out my quiet corner because that's my little tagline basically. It's not the name, actual name. Well, I guess it is the actual name because when I answer messages, it comes up with that instead of my name, even though I have my name as my YouTube channel. Go figure. So then I got inspirational and I thought, oh, I want to do some bulky stuff and, kind of chunkies. And then I started going up and then I thought, oh my gosh, now I'm going to make a flower garden out of my little French knots. So that's where I've gotten so far. And I think I'm going to work on this a little bit in here and do my leaves and uh, some more French knots and maybe a new stitch today. Although I did do the chain stitch for my little letters.
Oh, okay. Yes, I like the chain stitch.
So I used a 12 weight sulky brand, which is the equivalent to 2 threads. So if you don't have this, then you can use 2 threads. It's the sulky.
Oh. So that's just regular. Is that sewing machine thread that you doubled up?
No,
Oh,
no, this is 12 weight.
okay. Then. All right.
This is thicker. This is embroidery floss.
Okay. All right.
but it's the weight of 2 threads.
Oh, okay. I don't think I've ever seen embroidery floss in a spool. I guess that's what threw me off.
So that's what I used for this. And this I'm using a combination of 6 strands, 3 strands, 2 strands, and 1 with
Oh,
my French knots. So that's where I am up to now. And I'm going to continue probably working up into here, and then I will start something over here to show you something new. And now I'm going to let Anne show us what she's working on so you can see another way of doing your stitch journey.
oh! I was going to show you my thing, right? Oh
You
my gosh.
can, yes, you go right ahead and show
Oh,
what you're
gosh.
working on, what
I
you're doing.
I forgot. Wait a minute. I can't get at it. So
Oh,
I was going to show you my scroll that I did with Carol, and how far I got, but it's buried. It's very complicated. I can't get at it. I forgot. So
that's all right. No worries.
so what I'm working on currently is I made I did carve December, and some of you know I carved a whole bunch of way of oh, okay. I'll get it out for you, Zen Jen. I can get to it. I will. Um, I decided to carve a zoo of sorts, and then I didn't know what to do with all the little zoo animals that I carved, so I stamped them out, and then I cut them out, and then I found a frame, one of these types of frames that has the little. It says 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 little thingies. So I've made little vignettes. I guess that's what you would call them. And I'll show you what I've got done, and then I'll go dig out the. So here's one, and they'll go in that frame. And I'll hold this up for you. So these are all my stamps that I've stamped out and then cut out, and I just did a simple watercolor background. And then here's another one that'll go in the frame. These are all the little stamps I made. And here's another one. And this one, I just had to stack the animals because I had no way of putting them in a scene. And this was Deb Farrell's idea. Just stack them.
Yeah,
And
that looks like the old-fashioned country cow, pig,
yes,
rooster
yes,
stack.
yes, yes. I'm very happy with that, how that came out. And then I was talking to Carol that I thought it would be fun if I just went in and took some green floss or whatever, and just maybe did a little simple couple of stitches of grass and just add some fabric, a little tuft of grass here and there. And yeah, I could do that. And then I have the little ones, and I had a couple of animals that didn't make the cut. And I did a flamingo, which I was very happy with the stamp. And it's very bright. And here's my little flamingo. And I have a sun. So I'm thinking of if it'll fit in one of these small squares. It's very small.
Oh,
It's
I
not
think
going to
that
fit.
would look
Carol and
great,
I,
though.
we thought about I would sew a palm tree, because I did a palm tree. I'll show you my palm tree. Just, Carol, entertain them, RuPaul.
Okay. All right. Anne will be back with her stitching in just a minute. So we're going to be swapping back and forth between the two of us. If you don't know, that Anne and I have streamed many years before. And then when I had come to Alberta, I had taken a little hiatus because of all the changes and crap that went on in my life. So I had taken some time off and deleted my old channel. So I thought, things are coming back together, and it's like, Anne, do you want to come stream with me? So here we are. Jen has a question for me. Do you think using baby wipes I've saved with color will work for slow stitching this roll? You can use whatever you like. I don't know how well um, baby wipes will hold up alone, but if you put a backing material with them and put them on the top, you could use it and stitch that way.
I found
That way it has a little bit of stability.
okay because I rolled it up
So,
the wrong way. So I'm
all
trying
right, Anne must have found her scroll. Let's bring her back up.
because I rolled it up the wrong way. Oh my god, what a mess! It's okay, right? It's fine. Anyway,
Yeah, if you'd see my desk
yeah. Oh man.
after doing the watercolor and then trying to manipulate this stand on here, it's like, oh my God, disaster zone.
Okay. Well, we started this. I guess it was January of 2023 or two.
Did you put your date on it?
Yes, I did. 2022.
Yeah, that's 3 years ago, Anne.
Okay. And I, what Carol did, she just stitched what happened. And so um I had the sun came up, I had a teapot, I have a little red teapot, and you can see that mine's very, very basic. And there was a lizard got in my back porch. So I drew and stitched a little lizard. And my favorite car that I had was a 68 red Beetle bug, Volkswagen. So I made that. And I even wrote 68 VW. And then this is pretty hard to explain, but I live on a golf course and a golf ball hit and broke my window. So that's my rendition of the golf ball breaking the window on my porch. And then this heart was by Ruth. And this was in honor of caged fish. I had a little fish stamp that I had made and a bird cage die cut. So this is paper, and I just stitched it on. So as Carol said, you got paper, and these are dishcloths. I ended up buying a whole shitload of, these dishcloths, and I got them from Amazon, and there were 18 in the pack. And I've used almost all of them. I've made a rag doll out of one. I've made 3 tea cozies out of them. Anyway, so then in February, Carol stitched the tree outside her window. And I stitched the tree outside my window. And I live in Florida, so I stitched a palm tree. And that's my palm tree. And there are some rabbits in my backyard, so I stitched a little outline of a rabbit. And then of course I did February, and I think I was just using a running stitch here. I think the straight running stitch, or it looks like I did a split stitch. I went inside the stitch and split.
Oh, yep, split stitch, yep.
I think I did that. I don't know why this is here. Then we did some collage-y kind of squares, and we swapped them, we shared them with one another. And stitch those on. And then March came, and I was working on an Alice in Wonderland journal, and I stuck that on, a little piece of postage. My birthday is March 25th, so I made a little birthday cake. Put a pin on. Again, it's you can see mine is very haphazard. It's just little bits. My grandson plays hockey, and he's number 6. So I put hockey sticks.
But it's your stitch journey. That's your life. And that's...
Yes. And that's what's so cool. These are things. And here comes April, and I just cut out a flower off some fabric and stitched it on. And this is a butterfly I made out of a pop can. And I cut apart, pop cans, and then I put them through the die cutter, and I just stitched that on, but that's aluminum. Stitched it on, and there's April. And then we made these little heart pins. And I sent one to Janet Nash. But you can see that mine is my stuff, and what I could find is scraps. I didn't have much, so I cut this flower out, stitched it on, and that's June. And then let's see, I've got to stitch these together. Let's see.
But it's never ending because you can always go back and
Yeah,
add things or decorate.
absolutely. Here's some different fabric I used as a background. This is a piece of vellum. But Carol's point, and this is just me. This is, and here I attempted to um, crochet, and this is one of my crochet snakes that I stitched down.
Your chain.
Yeah, oh, chain, is that what it's called? Chain, yeah,
Yeah.
my chain. And then this was a specimen thingy that I got from Deb Farrell. And here's a dragonfly that I cut out. You can see how simple it can be. And this is from Carol. Stitch that on. And this is another piece. But anyway, you can just throw anything on and then stitch it on. And you can see that I haven't done a whole lot of stitching.
But it looks so nice, and it's pleasant to the eye. You
Yeah,
can, and it's memories, and that's what your
yeah,
stitching needs to be, your memories.
right. And this gets to be, and I used all, this is some camphor. Is it called camphor quilt? The Indian quilt?
Cantha, cantha.
Cantha quilt. This is a piece of a cantha quilt that I got from Rosemary, and I ended up buying 2 quilts and sewing them together, but I had to cut some off, and took a piece of that. So you can see the cantha stitching, the original stitching, and then, but anyway, yeah, I mean, doesn't have to be, and as you get better at stitching, you can add more stitches, which I haven't done but that's kind of a simple version. But it is
Anne's
fun, you're
bold
right.
mixed media artist.
Yeah, a little bit, but yeah. So that's my version. My washing machine.
So basically what you're saying is you don't stress over what you're doing on your scroll.
Right. Yeah. Because you can sew anything to anything. You know what I mean? You get a
Yep.
postcard or you get a little happy mail and stitch it on, because you can stitch paper to fabric and it's fine. That's the important thing to realize. If you get something, you can put it on a piece of fabric and include it in something like this. I happen to have one of these that I got from Johnny, which is perfect to roll it up on. But anyway.
Yeah, that's what I usually had mine on, but right now they're kind of scrunched. Hi, Sophia.
Hi, Sophia. So anyway, that's kind of my scroll that I probably would, if I did, I probably would start afresh.
For this year, yes.
Yeah. And that Gail's right. If you can poke a hole in it, you can stitch it. Absolutely.
Yes. So that's where Anne is taking this part of what she's sharing with you today with her paper here.
Yeah, I'm thinking of, yeah, I think I would like to add some stitches to those little cards. Just a little pop. I'd love to add some French knots to those cards, but my French knots are hit or miss. They're more miss.
So are mine. They're not perfect, but you know what? Even though they're not perfect, they add character.
Oh yeah, yeah. And there's that little
I am not, and I don't claim to be a perfect stitcher, but
Uh-huh.
I enjoy my process.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's very relaxing. And I've made a couple of tea cozies, which were very relaxing because they're just scraps of paper. And that's what I thought I would probably stitch on today. It's a tea cozy I started from my daughter-in-law.
Oh, that would be cool. See, your stitch journey continues on
Uh-huh.
multiple items, and that's a good thing because I'm also going to be stitching on multiple items. I will show you what I'm doing on my stitching on my scroll, but I'm going to be doing other stitching. So you're going to see multiple projects. I'm not going to be just stitching on my scroll. I'm you're seeing my stitch journey. And your stitch journey is whatever you are working on. Whether you incorporate the stitches that you see or and there's Anne's project.
Now here's a tea cozy, and I didn't know. I had no idea what I was doing. And I had some batting, and I just draped it around my. I have a little red teapot. And I draped it around the teapot, and these were just scraps that I stitched together. Again, no fancy stitching, but this was scraps that I had, and I love it. I love the way it came out. A little piece of frills that I stuck on it. So this is, I get to see this every day because it's on my stove with my teapot. But what a simple project. And if you have scraps, you know, the inside is not, just the inside. Anyway,
Very nice.
that's my tea cozy.
So now you're
Oh, Gail
going
loves making, yeah, she loves making French.
so now you're going to practice on your paper.
Well, I might practice on the watercolor paper just for the
Jen says, "Is your tea cozy? Was it done by hand or machine?"
hand. It's all hand stitched. And what I did was, yeah, I'll show you. Whoops, sorry. I stitched the pieces together. I stitched these together, and then after I had these pieces all stitched together, then I guess stitched it to the batting. I don't really remember, but obviously you can see some stitching from the top. And that was when I added pieces on top of pieces to get some layering effects. You can see here the buttons. They went all the way through. But no, to answer your question, this is all hand stitched. They're just straight stitches. I mean, yeah, hand stitched.
Sweet.
Yeah. Let's see.
So let's put us back this way.
Side by side. Let's see. Oh, here's the one I've been working on. Okay, here's the one I've been working on.
Oh, let's see that.
This is the one for my daughter-in-law. Okay, so we did measure this, and it does fit her teapot. So you can see I've just laid out the pieces, and then I will stitch the pieces together, but they won't. And then I'll stitch them, attach them, I guess, onto the batting it later. But I was just laying out the pieces. These are all scraps just to see how that would work. And I think I took a couple of pictures, obviously, just so I didn't lose my place. But that's this one. I'll probably work on.
That is pretty. I love the material.
Yeah, and then I have some neat pieces that have. Oh, see, here's some. Oh, this is. There's a piece I've actually. I haven't taken it out of the bag. Hi, Devin. Since I got back from Boston, I went to Boston for Thanksgiving. There's my airline ticket. Okay. And Devin won the tea cozy I made during that ridiculous marathon, streamathon thing. I don't know.
You got a lot accomplished, though.
I did. I made a beautiful tea cozy that I gave away. So you can see here, I've stitched these pieces together. And I'm just doing, doing face-to-face fabric, like that, and then stitching it on the back so I have a clean seam. Yeah, and that's probably going to go here anyway. So that's where I will pick up where I left off. And here's the thread. It's already, the
Oh,
needle's
good to
already,
know.
yeah, got the crayons. Yeah, all right.
All right, so let's get to it then.
All right, let's get to it. I'm thinking now, if I stitch onto the little my little zoo animals, maybe I shouldn't use floss. Maybe that'd be too thick. Maybe I should use. I could just use a single strand of
I
floss.
think single strand or two, because
Two,
two
yeah,
is practice on your other paper and see
yeah,
what
I'll
you
pick
like
one.
best.
Yeah,
You'll on pitter patter, let's stitch at her.
stitch at her. Yeah.
All right, I'm going to see if I can zoom in a little more. I don't
Yes,
know if
you
I
go
can.
because I'm just doing straight. Yeah, you'll be doing the interesting stuff. I
All right,
gotta
well,
wait
I'll
here.
just do it for a little while, and then we'll come back and check in and see what you're up to. And I'm
All
sorry for the
right.
sniffing. It's very windy here today, and it's just part of life anymore.
Well, you have to
So,
understand Carol's pretty snotty. So you have to understand that.
literally. Uh, it's one of them days, though. So I apologize if I unintentionally sniff. So, like I said, I've been working here with these, and I'm going to continue making little French dots come up because these look like little flowers coming up, almost like little lupins. And I'm going to pause for, I've got to mute for a minute.
Okay. Yeah, I bought a stitch book where you can practice stitches, and they have like the diagrams of the stitches with the little holes, and you can actually poke, and practice stitches. And I was talking to Carol about it, and I said, "Geez, I ordered that forever ago, and I wonder what happened to it." And this morning I went through my emails and I found it, found the order, and it said it's been shipped. And of course, it's coming from China, and it was shipped January 3rd. And it said, track your package. So I tracked it, and lo and behold, guess what? It landed in the United States today at 5:20 in the morning.
Oh, wow.
Woohoo! Now, it probably landed in California because it's coming from China. So I don't know, the situation in California is dicey at best. So if it landed, I don't know how long it's going to take to get out of California with the fires and everything, but it was interesting that it does exist. It's a real live order, and I'm looking forward to it as a way of practicing stitches. Oh, did you post poor little Lucy in the wind yesterday? Aw.
Oh, it was bad yesterday, and it all through the night, all I could hear is the wind. It was brutal.
Oh man, that's awful. And of course, with your allergies,
Stuffed up big time.
you're at the wind's mercies.
Yes. So I'm just making French knots, and the
Just
bigger French knot you want, the more wraps you do. So I'm trying to make a little lupin. And the reason I'm making little lupins is, oh yes, you love lupins too. My daughter-in-law loves lupins. We actually have some in the front. She had planted some
is that a bulb type of plant?
um seed.
Oh, seed. Okay, so they're not perennials or.
No. Well, they do come up each year. Hers are white, but I thought I wanted to do. and bring the colors up. So I picked the pinks, and I may add a couple other colors because I think they come in, they are perennials, Yolande says.
Oh, they are perennials. Carol, you need to shift over to your right so we can see
I
more of your flowers,
do.
if you can. Mm.
That's about as good as it's going to get at this
Okay. All right.
point.
Okay.
Let's move the camera. Maybe that'll help. I'm limited to my camera
Okay.
wire.
All right.
Is that any better?
Yeah, I think so. Uh-huh. What do the folks in the what does the viewing audience think? I think it's a little better. Yeah. Lupines are do they look like wolves? Isn't lupine a word another word for wolves?
Lupin? No.
Lup- I don't,
Uh,
I
let's
don't
look up what a picture looks like.
I thought that was like another like a Latin word for wolves. Could be totally wrong, you know. That's a really good distinct possibility.
That's what they look like.
Oh, how pretty. Oh, they're like spiky.
Yeah, and they come in all different colors.
You know what they remind me of? They remind me of a very skinny lilac.
True. Except they're growing up instead of, well, yeah, I guess the lilacs grow up too.
Yeah, but they're on a tree, but they're fatter, but they go to a point. No, you're correct, Ian. Wolves too. Oh, okay. Thanks, Gail.
Well, when I pull up pictures, all I see is flowers with the lupin.
It
I
might be
don't see a
spelled.
wolf come up.
It may be spelled a little differently, but I think it's probably
Maybe.
maybe pronounced closely to the same.
They almost look like a hollyhock too, but closer together.
Well, I made these little flowers, and these would be cute on. I made this little pin cushion where I was French knotting. I was like a French knot fool. I mean, look at all these French knots. I was just knotting away, one after the other. Look at
Yeah.
all of them. And now all of a sudden, but these little flowers were cute. Had a little stem, and then you put a French knot. Um, this was a pattern. I didn't come up with this. Oh, it had like the little, like the daisies, like the little daisy. You can't see it. I have all these pins, but it's white. And then you got the green leaf.
Yeah.
It's a pin cushion. Yeah. But those would be cute. On the,
Gail says lupine comes from lupus, Latin for wolf. There you go.
yeah, that's, but look at all these French knots I made. Jeez.
You're
Jeez.
off. You're off camera a little.
Oh, I'm sorry. All the French knots I
There we
made.
are.
Look at all of them. I guess I must have French knotted myself out. That was it. I only had so many French knots in me, and they're all on this. No more French knots for me, for time being. But
So I hope this new setup for stitching is easier for people to see.
yeah, and it's nice and light and bright. Look, your light is perfect.
I've got a ring light, I've got a side light, and I've got a light just right there.
Yeah, yeah. I had a ring light, and then it burnt out, and you can't really replace, or at least I couldn't find like a ring light bulb replacement. So I got this lady from South Park, Missouri. This here. Yeah.
So this is the meaning behind my little flower lupins of why I decided to do the lupins. I did a lupin a long time ago, and I actually sold that picture because I used ink tints in the background,
Oh, that's right. Yes.
and Danny had taken some beautiful photos, and I took one of her photos and I put it on. I stitched it from her photo.
Oh, lovely. Yeah, you use that. You know, that's another thing. It's a good thing. You need to remind folks that you how well ink tints works when you're painting on fabric. And that when it dries,
Yes,
it's permanent. You use it quite a bit, very
I
successfully
do. I
with your.
have just the blocks, and I use a brush with water. And if you wanted to blend, you work, with it a little bit damp, but you only can work with it. It'll only move when it's wet. Once it dries, you're
Right?
done. And Yolan, yes, I am working on a frame because I wanted to bring the work up closer so I didn't have to hold it up. Typically, I don't use, but I thought it would be best for viewing if I put it on a stand so you could see.
And that's just magnets that are keeping it in place.
No, these are tacks.
Oh, tax.
This
Okay,
is on a wooden
that's right. Okay.
stretching frame, basically. It's called a stretching frame. And you can get them off of Amazon, or
Oh, okay.
they come in all different sizes.
Oh, okay.
And then you slide them together,
Oh, okay. That's pretty easy to do.
and then it comes with what did I do with it?
Okay, Gail. Get beautiful.
Bye, Gail. And then the other thing you can get it. Usually you have to buy everything separate. I don't know if they come in kits, but you get your little pins.
Oh, okay. Those are the tacks. Gotcha.
Yep. And then it has a magnetic, ah, two hands. It has a magnetic end where it holds the
Oh,
tack,
oh,
and then
how cool is
you don't hurt your hand by putting them in. You just press it wherever you want it.
how
So that
clever.
I would say yes, a frame is helpful for beginners to help with thread tension.
But that's
It
really a
does.
really neat design.
And then to take them out, you get a little
A little, like a
thing with,
little claw
it's like a
foot.
little
Yeah,
foot.
yeah.
And
It's
you put
like
the
a
tack
what do you call it?
between the toes.
There you go. And very
And
clever.
it,
Now, the tacks and that equipment comes in one kit, and then the frame is another separate.
yeah, you buy your wood to the sizes of your project.
Okay.
Where
And then
I
you
have
buy.
all the sizes, so I went through and I picked out my little sides to the length of
My
my
bar
it's
thing
a
section.
12 by 7 I'm using.
Okay.
So it works for the sizes that I've cut for my pieces, so I can just
Yeah.
put them on and work on one piece at a time.
I think I would rather work in the square than in the round.
I like working on the square better than the round. I use
Yeah.
these, and they go really well in any of the frames. Now I'm gonna move my camera so don't get dizzy.
Okay.
But
I'm just thinking. I just because
this
I
is
bought
how
a
it's attached.
there.
And it has like a little angle on the side where the wood here, the framing, that both of the corners, it has a little notched in area where the corners sit in on this, but don't mind the mess behind it. But this is what I've done. I've bent my floor frame down so it will work, and that's the leg where it's coming down.
You did a good
And
job.
this is sitting on my desk, so you can see it's about a foot wide. This is the feet part, and the feet
Oh,
part
wow.
comes out and it'll slide under your chair. So, whoops.
You did a great job altering that to work on the desktop.
They
Yeah,
do have lap versions that you can get that you can put under your leg.
but you were able to really reconfigure that to work for your purposes. That really came out.
Yeah, so it basically gets tall enough to work that you can sit in a chair and have it in front of you.
Hmm.
And I've used it before a couple times when I was doing my thread painting with the birds.
Yes.
So I want to try and get one of these lupins done so you can see what I'm doing. Like I said, as I go up, I'm making them now I'm going to start making them get smaller.
Yeah, I
Yes,
bought it.
exactly, Yolan. You don't get the creases this way. And this is all going to be hemmed or stitched around here. So, in the holes they fill in, it's just like putting your needle through it. But I want to make a couple of different little colors of lupins of the colors that's down in here and bring it up. And down in here, I have used French knots and bullion knots because I wanted to do a little bit of encrusting around the
Ooh,
bottom.
nice.
So then you can take and you keep building this up with different things. And I'm going to show you a little bit of that. April, that's great. April, what do you like to stitch? Okay, Kathy. Kathy's going to grab a coffee. I probably could have stayed in bed. It's like, oh my God, I'm so tired. But here I am.
Well, I turned my thermostat up a notch because I'm sitting here freezing and I'm thinking to myself, there's no reason for you to sit here being cold. Turn the damn heat up. It's not like it's going to break the bank. Sometimes I get stupid, like I'm going to try and not, turn the heat on. Well, there's some winters where you can get away with that, but not this winter here in Florida. So,
April,
now,
I'm going to do a tiny little landscape coming up. I will show you how to do um, some of the landscapes. I have quite a bit of a landscape in
yes,
my older scroll.
look at
It
that.
was a continuous landscape basically, but we'll be doing some of this. We'll be creating. We're right in the beginning stages, so you did sign up for test. I think yes. Take a Stitch Tuesday. And so far, Take a Stitch Tuesday 1 and 2, we've already covered. We've got the running stitch and we've done the back stitch
I just,
on the January. So,
ooh, I just noticed your color wheel by the frog. Oh my gosh, I love it. Oh, look at your clouds.
that's their French knots
Of course.
with a oh my god, brain.
Oh, I could do
Yeah, the brain's not working well this morning.
that. Oh my God, then
All
Jen.
right, Becky, come on, Becky. What's the blue? It's, oh my gosh.
Is it a split stitch?
No, it's a, oh my God.
My disdain comes through when I say French knots. I'll have to say it in French.
I just, it's
Franco
blanket
knot.
stitch. Yes, blanket stitch.
Blanket. Oh yeah, I can see the blanket stitch now. Yeah, I see it.
Yeah, it's a blanket stitch. It's
I'm
like,
with
oh my
Becky.
God, my brain just stopped.
I can see the blanket stitch. Yeah. So you just probably what you do the blanket stitch around and then just filled it in with the French knot.
Blanket stitch or buttonhole stitch,
Oh, okay.
either or. But yes, I just went around. I did my outline of my cloud and then I filled in with the French knots. Words is hard, Becky. It is. Words is hard.
Yours is hard, yes.
Yes. But we will, and I'm coming up to where I'm showing you landscape because we will be doing some of this. Getting back into details.
Mhm.
And this stitch is a medieval stitch that they used on the Bayeux tapestry. But this is ink tents in the background.
That's
That is ink tents.
look how well that works. It's perfect. Words is hard. It's going to be our new
So
motto, Becky.
yeah, words is hard.
Words is hard.
No, I'm not using a program. I do not. This is everything from my childhood and my life.
And that's not
These
programmable.
this now this is where we used to go hiking a lot, and it had the flowers growing along each side of the path, and it was in the woods. That is a part of my life. This is a part of my life when I was 2 years old or in second grade. We had moved into a home that had outhouses on both sides because the house didn't have uh, bathrooms in. And we also had wells. So I made the pump, I drew it on, and I drew the tree because we had a big maple tree in the front yard, and the outhouses were in the backyard. But different little things, it just put it all together. So I would have this is my memories. I've just and it turned into my life story as well as what went on throughout the days because that was my diary up above. So all of this is just from me. And then here, this was in my backyard, and we had a gazebo, and we would stand outside and have fires in a barrel.
Oh, there. Yeah, I love it.
And the little pink glasses are wine glasses.
There you go. As you got older, not when you were two, I take it.
No, yes, that was, oh my gosh, that was 17 years ago,
Okay.
18 years ago.
But see, the point is, it's just out of your memories, and that's what's so
Yes,
beautiful about this.
yes,
You just kind of imagine and start stitching.
yep. And then I got sick.
Right.
But this is where we're going, what I'm working on to do the encrusting. So this is a multiple bunch of stitches in here. So that's where it's going to go. But yes, we will. This is the beginning stages is always the slow part because you've got to put your date in there. You've got to put your name, which I will add my name in there as somewhere along the line. But it will blossom, so to speak,
Yeah.
as we move along. And you say, well, here's a part of my past that I forgot about, and I want to add it in. So I would take and I would draw it in. So that's what's going to happen. It will come, But first we have to get the beginning stages, which is the slow part, and not as much fun, I would say, until I can get and basically turn it into mixed media.
Hmm. And if you're just starting out, couldn't you like just do a simple straight stitch and just outline stuff and then go back and fill it in with other,
Yes.
more, if
Yep,
you
that's a
know,
great idea.
it would be like sketching with your thread. Just do an outline with.
Yolan, it's going in this one. It's going to turn into the scavenger hunt is going to turn into a search and find. So as I am stitching and I'm working on my scavenger hunt, I'm going to take that and incorporate little tiny icons or little parts of whatever the prompts are, and I'm going to hide them in amongst my scroll.
I love it. Where's the
So
prompt?
they will be incorporated, but as I'm doing it, and then I will show, and then you can say,
Patty Crane. Oh wow, that's how you're gonna do it. I love it. That's a great idea.
so yeah, it's gonna be there. It's gonna be subtle, but it will it will come, and I'm going to my theme is nature, right? So
Mm,
I've got my theme started, which means the rest is going to be nature oriented, but the product and the item is going to be, yes, it's instead of find Walto, it will be find Scabby.
right. Well, like one of the prompts is window, so you could stitch a little tiny window somewhere.
Yep, yep.
And some of the
So
prompts
it
will
will
lend
be
themselves.
coming.
Yeah.
And then, and even when you have to cut a hole in something, that's just fine because you can take a piece of material, you can stitch around it, cut a hole in it, stitch around it, put it on, and make it a tip in or a flap, which is the same thing. So you're looking through the hole as well
Hmm.
as
Yeah, quite a few
seeing.
of the prompts are like single item, like nouns that you can. Yeah, that's cool. I like
Yeah,
that
so
idea.
it's gonna work out really well, and it will be, and it won't be done all in. It's gonna take the year. It is definitely going to take the year.
Yeah, because last year Carol did the thing in 5 days.
Yes,
I just want you to know she finished the whole thing in 5 days.
I'm still working on the paper version though. I'm
Yeah.
still working on it.
Well,
I need some greens and some blues.
Peggy what finished hers already. I mean, I've got a ways to go. I'm getting there though.
Yeah, I got quite a bit done, but I kind of was at a standstill with all the doctoring stuff. So
Yeah.
now, what green do I want to use? I think I want to use a darker green. Too too tealy. That green.
Oh, I like that green. That's nice.
Yeah, that's gonna stand out really nice.
Nice. Almost an olive green.
And I think I'm going to split this and have it as two threads. I hope everybody's enjoying our little stitch journey. Like I said, it's just my stitching and showing you what I'm doing, and I can't wait to see what you're doing. And is it okay if they share the photos in of their stitching work in your group?
Oh, absolutely. Sure. I can share them on my Facebook page too. I mean, You can join. I think most everybody in here is in my in the Facebook group to share.
Kathy says she was thinking of doing the hunt, but not sure now. She may just enjoy watching everybody else do it. Now, I'm going to put some stems in here, which means stem stitch is what I'm going to use. Oh, my
The
nose
stem
is
stitch
just...
is when you come down and then you come back up halfway and then you go down again.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. See, you're remembering these things. Yeah. So I'm going to make them kind of close.
Okay. All right.
So basically what you're doing is you go down. Can everybody see this okay? And then you're
Yeah.
going to come up about halfway in the middle. And then you will pull that through. And then you will do the same thing. You come down. And I forgot I had another thread down there that I didn't tie off. You come down halfway. You come up in the middle.
Hmm. I can prove her.
So, again, it's not that hard. And I'm going to go next to that other one. So, actually, I'm going to tie off my lupin. I have the other threads there, but you know what? Instead, I'm going to bring it up here and around, and I'm going to park it up in the top. So I don't have to take it out. I'm just going to park it up there. And continue on with my stem stitch. So our stitch of the day, French knot, stem stitch.
I'll have to say it nicer. The lovely French knot. Accusing me of having disdain in my voice when I say French knot.
The more you do them,
I know.
I don't go for perfection because I love when they get fluffy sometimes. It just gives it character.
Well, I'm all excited. I think I finally got it right. And then I pull it through and then it goes all the way through and it doesn't stay.
Ah, that's because you went down the same hole.
Oh, is that what it is? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So you just have to go down. Okay, that's probably what I've been doing pretty much on a consistent basis, trying to get too close and then end up going down the same hole. Okay. Francais, not. I have to figure out, get the French word for not. I know Francais. Parlez-vous français? Parlez-vous français not? No, that wouldn't work. What is your French not? No, that doesn't make any sense. No, I speak French. Parlez-vous? No, never mind. Do you speak French? Oh, well. The extent of my 4th grade French.
Yes, and sometimes when you're using pearl cotton, it does twist up on you quite a bit. So you may have to hang your needle down a little bit to get it from twisting up on you as much.
Oh, that's a great, yeah. Aunt Beck said last week she was playing your video in slow speed to see exactly how you did the stitch. Do you speak?
Oh,
I don't speak in knots, no, Kathy, but that's yeah. Well, you know what? When you think about all of the knots beyond French knots, the slip knot, all of the nautical knots, they're fascinating. How many different? I was watching a reel the other day where a guy did, I don't know, 15 or 20 different knots. Not not sewing knots, but knot knots. Knock knock. Oh, Oh man, bad, bad. There.
So is this much better, Becky, for watching? Having it up on a stand so you can actually see what's happening? Oh, April. April said it. So is this better, April? Do you like
Oh, I'm
this
sorry.
version?
I'm sorry. I thought it was Becky. That's my.
It's okay. I just read that too. Oh, it was April.
Oh.
We're doing it live. It's not edited and it's not perfection here. It's not perfection.
Mm-mm.
We're doing this to relax and have fun. Learn a little bit as we go, not necessarily totally teaching, but showing my process. Well, that looks pretty good. I like that stem stitch. Now,
Let's
I have
see.
to
Where is
pause a
it?
second, please.
I think
I have to
this
mute.
goes here. Put that there. Do I want it that? I don't want it that.
Darn allergies. Now we'll go back up to the top. And if you don't want to go back up to the top, you can end your thread down below. And then start over.
Yeah, I
So
figured.
this, go ahead.
No, that's all right. No, go ahead.
This is just the stem stitch. Go ahead, Anna.
No, I was just commenting on. I figured that Devin was fluent in French.
Yeah. I think a lot of people who are here usually do, but
Yeah.
now I've come back up here in the center, but because I have this clump of French knots here, I'm gonna go down and come back up below them and start again. So I don't go over my French knots. And yes, I did paint my nails yesterday.
Yes. Yes, your nails have to look
I
nice.
figured I'd be so close up. So these flowers are my version of the lupines.
Well, I think they look like lupins. I think you did a good job.
Thank you. And as you get more and more used to doing it, you won't have to hold your thread off to the side. You can just go to town and keep on stitching. But I'm just showing you an easier way so you know what the stem stitch is and how it works. Because we'll be using these stitches, well, I will, a lot in this scroll. So I'm going to take mine for a second and bring Anne up and say, Anne, what are you doing?
I'm not doing anything.
Okay. Oh, that looks nice.
This is what I've gotten done so far. Let's see. This is all. This is one. This is one piece here. A part of the. So that's what I've gotten done. I've sewed this on, and so I've laid this all out. Now I'm thinking either this is going to go here or it's going to go here. So I'm just going to just stitching these pieces together. And something like this, these are uh, pieces that I got in a fabric and lace kit that I bought. And I think they're going to go like on they'll be on top, when it's all done, they'll be laid on top. And then, of course, it's going to be embellished with buttons and lace and rickrack and, all sorts of little nicky nacky things will go on top of it. And my daughter-in-law probably thought I probably forgot all about it. Your parent, oh, Devin said her parents were, fluent. Oh, an Anglo. Okay, it was okay.
Yeah. Up here, they have a lot of what they call French immersion schools.
Oh yeah.
So that's
That's
probably what she means by a francophone school. That's French.
Mm-hmm.
They do have those.
Oh, I'm always, in awe of people, the international people that come into our streams and then they apologize for their English. And I'm thinking, oh my God, your English is, fine. There's nothing wrong. And I'm trying to think, what would how would I be speaking in your language?
Yeah. Oh my gosh, I would
Not,
be a
not well at all.
disaster.
Right. And they always apologize. Oh, I'm so sorry. No.
Oh, Kathy set her alarm so she could watch live this time.
Well, yeah, it's early for Kathy. Kathy's in California.
Oh, an
Oh,
hour.
no,
Oh,
Oregon.
you gotta get
Oregon.
up
I
at
always want to
7.
say she's in Oregon, not California.
Oh, so she's at my time.
I think she's 3 hours.
Oh, yeah. So I guess it would have been 7 for her.
Mm-hmm.
So down here, I'm going to add, I finished my little lupin stems. I'm going to add more lupins in there with different colors, but I'm going to bring this of what I have left because I have quite a bit.
I'm going to try that just for fun. All right.
I'm going to add some green French knots down here to bring it all together.
Bring it.
And little bullion knots. Want to do a bullion knot? I don't know how well these bullion knots work here.
Yeah.
But because my material is a little looser, then I can actually move it. You bring it up so far to do a bullion knot. You come up, you go down about 1/4 of an inch or however long you want your bullion knot. You stop. You just hold your needle up. And then you wrap it to do a bullion knot. And you just keep on wrapping to however long you want it to be. You push it down, grab your needle, hold your bullion curls, in your thumb and finger and pull your thread. And then slowly let it loose. And you've got a tiny little bullion knot. I don't know if you can see that all too well with the green. And I don't think I can get any closer. I think that's as far as I will zoom because the camera is so close. And then I will take and create some more. Well, after you do that, after you pull your bullion knot, then you go down to set it in, and you've got your little worm, so to speak.
And that's exactly what it looks like. It does look like a little worm.
Sorry.
God bless you. Oh.
I couldn't get to the mute.
Oh, that's okay. You can sneeze. You won't be offended.
So we can make a couple more. I'm gonna make one over this side. You come up and you go about ½ inch or so away. Okay, on camera here. And hold your needle up
I'm gonna try that.
and wrap it around. Hold your bullions together, pull your thread, and this one is going over some of the knots, which is fine because that's what you want to do when you want to do encrusted embroidery. Oh, my lighting has gone wonky. And then you come back down and it anchors it. So they're not that hard. They're very, very simple. It's just if your needles, if they are a continuously flat, oops, over here, a continuously flat, same size from one end to the other, it goes a lot easier. But if you have one where the eye is a little bigger than the shaft of the needle, all you have to do is not pull your uh when you're wrapping, don't wrap super super tight, and you can pull it over the eye of the needle. So you can use just about any needle as long as you're aware that you need to wrap looser or tighter or however that goes for whatever you're using, right? So we did 3 stitches today. We did the French knot, we did the stem stitch, and we are doing the bullion knot. And I will also be doing a wrapped wheel on in and around this encrusting stuff, just to make it look a little more dimensional. Now you could have, like I said, you could have dyed your material or colored on it or used fabric markers or fabric paints. You can use just about everything. Hi, Teresa. And once you take it off the hoop, you can then add to go wherever, to the edge of whatever you're going to either hem or not hem. Because being in a hoop or on stretcher bars, they limit to how far you can go, which is fine. You just fill it in later. I look a little washed out here on this.
Yeah, you just
My lighting has gone.
yeah, your lighting has decided to do its own thing. It's weird. It was
Yeah.
fine.
Yeah, that's a little better. I just lowered the brightness on the Logitech so you can actually see what I'm doing.
Huh. Oh well.
All right, now I'm coming down to a point where I'm almost out of thread. And when you have it in a hoop like this, there's an issue. It doesn't do the 360 turn. You can buy hoops holders that do the 360 turn, where if you want a knot on the back, you can. What I'm going to do though is I'm going to come where I'm going to stitch over some of these things. So what I'm going to do to end my thread is come up away from where you're doing it and make a bunch of tiny little stitches and you just go up and down. You can cross them over because I can't turn my hoop upside down when it's like this. So what I do is I'll make 3 or 4 little tiny stitches that I know I'm going to stitch over that area, come up, and then I can bring my thread to the top and I can snip it off because you're going to be stitching over those. It's going to tack it down and you don't have to worry about having to turn your hoop over to knot it. Now I have the rest of my lupin thread on here where my needle was parked.
Thank you, Bex. Yeah, I sent her a message. She had to answer the questions, but thank you, Aunt Bex.
So I finished my stitching down in here. So I want to fill in the lupins on this one branch. So I'm going to go back up with what I have on my thread and finish making some pink French knots here. So I can fill in my lupin.
Pink will be nice. I did make one French knot, and then all the rest of them kind of.
You made a French knot today?
On a piece of watercolor.
Oh, let's see what you're doing.
Let's see all my attempts, but only one, and I can't figure out why the others didn't work. Well, you can't really see it, but there it is, right there. There's one right there.
Yay!
Yay!
So when you come up to do your French knot, you do your wraps, leave a very small space between where you're going down.
Yes. And because on the card, when you punch the hole, you end up with a pretty big hole. So, all right. And I'm going to come down like so. And then it's going to go all the way through. Pop. No French knot. Now I'm only using 2 strands. So maybe that's why it's not successful. I was just messing around to see what, a couple of little sprigs of grass would look like on my zoo cards. But that one worked. But that one did not. Anyway, I've been messing around with it.
Well, that's good. That's the only way you're going to know if you like or how it's going to affect the original card. And if it's not going to look good on the sample, then it's not going to be
right
for what you want.
That's my concern, because it does end up leaving a pretty big hole. And I don't think I could use a smaller needle.
Or you can poke with a pin or a needle.
Pre-make the.
And use a smaller needle.
Oh, okay. Oh, Zen. Okay, gotcha. Zen Jen. Okay, got that. Okay. Look, now I just did one. Look at that one. That's a real puffy one.
Yep, that is perfect. Okay, Yolande, thanks for stopping by.
Thanks, Yolande.
We're soon going to be wrapping up because it's been an hour and a half.
Look at that. Now, what did I do differently? Gosh, that one's like so puffy. Let's go for 2.
It's just as long as it's not too far away from your first hole.
Yeah.
So now you just wrap it a couple times. Oh, you're wrapping differently.
Well, I figured that's what I. All right, let's try. Can we get 2 in a row? No, almost. Yeah. How do you, I mean, I know you wrap, you hold it and then wrap.
Yep.
So
And
you
you
do
get
it,
some.
you hold it like this and then you wrap like this. Does it matter whether you go right or left? Right, right.
No,
I find this very awkward.
that's why I put my thing in the hoop for doing massive amounts of.
Yeah. But this one, if you, no, the thread is, let me just untangle the, and I'm only using 2 strands.
Yep, that's all I've been using. Maybe it's not enough
Yeah, I don't,
for the
I'm pretty sure.
whole.
Normally when I do it, I use a lot, at least 3 strands to get it all puffied. But let's see. Next
Yeah,
off.
Becky's saying you wrap the thread around the needle, not the needle around the thread.
You wrap the thread around the needle.
Yeah, so I'm gonna make
Oh,
one.
I gotcha. All right. Oh, wow.
I'm coming up. Let us make it equal here. You come up, you hold the needle in your hand. You can even set your paper down if you need to do this part and hold your paper.
Okay.
You're pulling up on your thread, and then I'm
Oh,
wrapping the
oh,
point, and then I'm going down next to where I
right.
went, and then I hold that until I get to the bottom. So I'll make a few more because my lupin needs more petals. So we come up.
It worked. Look,
Yay!
maybe that's what I've been doing wrong. I mean, it's not perfect, but it's definitely above the surface, so to speak.
And the size of your knot is how many wraps. So if you want it to stand up, you
Right.
have to do 3 or
That was
more
yeah,
wraps.
that was 4. All right, let me see if I can do that again. So now all right, I'm gonna wrap the thread around the needle. I just don't want to. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, I got another one. It's
Yay! You're getting there.
a little wonky, but it's as long as
Hi,
it.
Pam.
Oh wow, that's 2 in a row. Hi, Pam. Oh my gosh. Now that one's very wonky, but I don't care. It's a knot. A knot's a knot, knot, and it's above the surface. And I did that bullion stitch on this pin cushion too. Somewhere along the way, I did because that was the stem. Okay. Yeah. Well, I think that's what I've been doing wrong all the time. I've been not wrapping the thread around the needle. I've been doing it the ass backwards way. Surprise, surprise. It's something ass backwards. That's my MO.
Well, it's either that way or upside down, right?
Right. A lot of times it's ass backwards and upside down. So I get a double whammy on my. People get cards from me where the inside sentiment is upside down from the outside of the card. Let's see. Can I do another one? I don't think so. Let's see.
And I think the next lupins I do is I'm going to make the stem first, because since I wasn't sure exactly what I was doing, I made my French knots first, and then I put my stems in. You could
Yeah.
do it either way, but I think it'll be easier if I do my stem and then But I do hope everybody's enjoying our little stitch journey.
Yeah.
You get to see all kinds of things that are happening, and if anybody else wants to show what they're working on and different things, you can go to Anne's group, Ann Lair's. What's the name of the group?
Oh,
Ann Lair's.
in
I can't remember all the words.
let me see. Well, it's up because I was just there. Let's see.
Yeah,
In-laws. Do. In-laws. Well, let's search. In-laws art hangout. There.
there
Zen
you
January.
are.
We just yeah. When you go to come, it's a private, so you have to. There's two questions you've got to answer. They're really hard. You know, are you going to play nice? And what kind of art do you do? Those are the two questions. And if you answer those, Becky or I will approve you in a heartbeat, as long as we see them. And people, you'll see all sorts of people are posting. Devin posts her stuff. Well, I don't know about Devin, but Safia posts her stuff there. Kathy, a lot of people are posting, and you can post anything,
And
anything
you
you're
can,
working on. It doesn't
and
matter.
if you have Instagram, I have Instagram. You can
Oh,
always tag me on Instagram, and I can see and share your posts, and we have that way too,
mm-hmm,
which makes it also easy to see things
mm-hmm.
because it's Instagram is my name.
That's true. Yeah, I'm on Instagram too, and I always forget to put stuff on Instagram.
I will be posting this on Instagram. Also on my community page, I will be posting little updates
Oh,
as we go. And make sure you are subscribed
oh
because
yes.
at the end of the month, we are having a fantastic giveaway.
Subscribe and like, subscribe and like,
Yep,
subscribe and like.
yep. Do subscribe. My heart has been overwhelmed this past year, and especially these past couple of months, because I have had an onslaught of new followers, and I am grateful for each and every one of you
It's so exciting.
because I went from, well, I've had my YouTube channel for a very long time, but I went from having 4 subscribers to over 600 in a matter of months. So I am beyond grateful.
Yeah, and you started all over again too.
Yes, yes, I have started all over again because my other channel had well over 1,300 and monetized, and it is gone. But that's fine because here we are starting fresh.
Mm-hmm. Hmm.
So on the 31st, we're going to have a wonderful subscriber giveaway. So please do subscribe.
That will be fun.
Yes, it's going to be fun. I am going to have we're going to be doing stitching and giveaways. Aw, thank you, Kathy. Jen, I appreciate you.
Yep.
So we're going to have a lot of fun, and we're going to have multiple giveaways. My wonderful daughter-in-law will be mailing them out. She will be doing that chore for me.
Carol's daughter-in-law is a professional photographer and gives photography, right? Lessons and
Yes. Yes, she does. She does workshops. Actually, she left this morning before the sun shone, and she is off on a 7-day workshop up in Banff, Calgary area. And she's actually a tour guide and photographer.
Oh, that's right. I forgot that too. She's very talented.
So, and she does the designing of all the animals at Ten Peaks Designs because they're based on her experiences and the different animals and some of the landscapes in the area. But she's now working with another photographer,
Oh, okay.
and she is getting to go to Patagonia and Iceland, Alaska. She's been to Glacier. She's going to possibly Africa to be photographing all of these different areas
Oh,
and
wow.
host
Exciting.
and be the host for the tours of that specific
Wow. What an
workshop.
experience.
So yes, the experience alone is like, oh my gosh.
Well,
So
good.
yeah,
She's worked hard. She deserves
yes,
it. She's worked very hard.
COVID really put her business at a
Yeah.
standstill for a
Sure.
little bit.
Absolutely.
So
100%.
now she's been working her little butt off and
She's up and
trying
running.
come building things back up. Now, I think
Huh. I can't believe I didn't have a spool of white thread. Let's see.
all
Ah,
right. So my
there.
two little lupin things are done. I've completed those, and I'm going to add the purples and the blues and everything in amongst these guys. On both sides, I'll have this one come up just a little bit higher as it's coming into my quiet corner.
Okay.
So, Anne, what do you think we end it here? It's been an hour and a half.
Okay. Sounds good. It's been a lovely way to start the day for sure. For
It is,
sure.
and I hope everybody's got some inspiration and ideas of what they want to continue on their stitch journey. And you know what? Regardless of whether you're doing what I'm doing or if you're following somebody else, and that's your stitch journey too. If like a lot of people are following K3N or Marion, you know,
Mm-hmm.
everybody and Kate in the Nest is a new one. If you haven't followed her, she does a lot of cool stuff too.
There are so many. Yeah. It's just, yeah.
There's so many. If you're doing and following, you can take that and use it in your stitch journey. You
Mm-hmm.
don't have to do exactly what I'm doing. I'm showing you what I'm doing. Take your stitch journey and elaborate on it with everything else that you're working on. And it will become your little sanctuary.
Yeah.
So, with that, thank you, Anne, for joining me today.
You're very welcome.
And I want to say I'd say my quiet corner, it's our quiet corner.
Yes.
Enjoy and happy stitching.
Happy stitching. All you
Bye,
need is
everybody.
a needle and thread.
Yes.
Bye.